You ready? I feel like of all the time that I was spent at home the past few years, it really did me great as a guitar player, as a songwriter. I was able to kind of come back to like zero and focus on practicing, learning things that I thought maybe I'd never have time to do. It was almost like nothing else got in the way. And that was something really refreshing. And man, I always had a guitar on. Like I'd be walking around in my robe and a guitar, you know? With all of that time, for me, being able to practice, being at home, being able to focus, it helped me hone in a little more. It almost also helped me kind of shed a few things too and get rid of things that maybe I thought were something important or something I was shooting for. But then I was able to stop and go, you know what? I really think my heart is telling me to go this way. So one of the things that I would say for any aspiring player or even artist to really think about is always trust your gut and go with what feels right. When it comes to truly finding out where you want to go creatively, that's on you. And one of the things I would suggest to do is almost keep a logbook, a journal. For years I had diaries that I would say, okay, this is what I worked on today. And it's really fun when you start to see the progress. You can start to see yourself grow in real time. I wanted to make a record that felt like the live show. So we went into a studio, Blackbird Studios in Nashville, set up in Studio D like we were playing a live show. It was the three of us, drums, bass, guitar, simple. It was straight to tape. It was amazing. We played it all live on the floor, and then I sang over it. I'm really happy with the record. It was, again, the first time I went into the studio, and I had an idea, a sound, a vision for it, and we were able to bring it to life. There's something about not only recording to tape, but also recording in a way where it's like you have to nail the take. All of my favorite solos, I feel like, were just a take, a feeling, an energy, a moment in time. And I wanted to do that with my record, and I want to continue to do that. To finally be back up and running, back on the road playing shows. It means everything. It's like, I felt so deprived, like many, as like a creative, as a musician, not being able to play shows, not being in front of people and getting that energy, that now that I'm back on the road playing, it's kind of like you gotta jump back in, but it's so much fun. It's so great to be back out connecting, and I'm having the time of my life. I got my first vintage Les Paul right before the pandemic. 1953 Les Paul named Old Red. There was a guy who hit me up on social media and he said, hey man, I have this guitar I found it in my yard after a tornado. I know you like old Les Pauls. It kind of looks like the one you play. I wanted to show you it and see what you thought of it. And I'm like, what? And he sent a picture. And the picture was this body with a broken neck, right? No strings or anything, covered in dirt and mud and glass. The original owner's daughter, it went like 3 blocks in the tornado, claimed it on her insurance. And she said, just hang it on your wall. So I said to him, hey, I can help you figure out where to get it restored, or if you'd ever want, because it's the internet. I said, I will buy it off you. He goes, I didn't buy it, I'm not gonna sell it. He goes, I like the idea of you taking it, getting it fixed, and touring and playing it. This is one of the first Les Pauls ever, one of the first production models. It's an early 1952. The pots are actually dated to 1951, which predates the Les Paul. This bridge pickup, you can see it has these 2 screws on the sides. Those screws indicate the earliest rendition of a bridge pickup. So all these electronics are completely original, untouched, which is crazy. It has a center seam, flame maple top, like a Les Paul 1959, like a coveted burst. It has that same DNA. And the funny part about it, when I got it fixed, I wasn't expecting it to become even a workhorse guitar or anything. But when I played it, I instantly knew, like I fell in love. So the guitar now goes with me everywhere. It's named Dorothy after, Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. And it's just, not only is it an amazing piece of Gibson and musical and kind of American history, it's one of the best guitars I've ever played. I've been working with Epiphone and Gibson, truly since 2012. I got offered a signature model after a guitar that I had modded myself in 2019. And the signature model takes a lot of characteristics from this. It's a single P90 in the bridge with a wrap tail. It's got a simple volume and a tone. So it's almost like if you take a Les Paul Jr. and a Les Paul Custom and put them together. And I love working with Epiphone, and I love the fact that we were able to make such an incredible playing and sounding guitar at a price point that works for everyone. And I play those guitars on tour every single night. I'm always rocking one. And the guitar that you would get off the wall is the same one that I'd play. It's just an amazing thing. Well, I've been playing TR strings since I was a kid. I always remember when I first picked up a guitar, being in the shop and seeing TR. The big logo with the circle around it, I saw it from a mile away. I used the Veritas, and I noticed right away that my guitar, literally, I did not break a string. It stayed in tune like crazy, and I could bend them like no other string. So when I picked up the Veritas and I put them on, my bending and like vibrato gain changed overnight. So like the first thing that I noticed was, let's say I was gonna bend a string, I'm playing an E, right? I noticed that I could bend further. Then I figured, wow, I can go even further. So that bend is, it's like 3 steps. I could bend hard. On the low E. And I could just nail all of those. And it's perfect every time. And the opportunity to work with TR strings has been so amazing for me because I love the fact that TR treats me like a family member. There's a really cool feeling that knowing that I love the strings with great people behind them, it makes everything better. I'll be on tour, I'll be on stage or in the studio. I don't even think about anything else because it's like, honestly, I don't even have to think about the strings because I know that they're gonna rock.